how's everybody in YouTube land this evening? Been a while since I posted up a video. Didn't really have any news for you to post. I've been waiting on a lot of parts and it's been holding me back, especially with the CD175. Should have had that bike running weeks ago, but I'm waiting on seals and stuff to come in and it's holding me back. So this evening, most of the parts I needed to build a Quickley engine has turned up. So this evening I think I'm going to start and try and build an engine for us. And the good engine that I have, I'm going to open it up tonight to see what sort of condition it's in inside. And if the bearings are okay, I think we'll go ahead and we'll build that engine this evening. We'll at least start to build it and see how we get on. You will also see from the last time that I've managed to clean up my bench just a little bit to give me some space to work, which is good, but still has a long way to go. I just need to get some of these bikes finished off, and once they're finished off I'll have more space because there's less parts laying around the shed. There's the Quickley there. Bought new tyres for it, new tubes, and new inners. So we've got all that for it. You knew about the other pieces that I got, the back wheel and the forks. Which, by the way, if you have a Quickley, early Quickley, there's a set of forks here which I don't need, which are in good condition. Plus the little suspensions that go into them. So if you need them, give me a shout. Also, what I tried to do today now was, I thought I'd had a little bit of a go at some panel beating. I've been contemplating doing that for a while. I didn't have the right tools, so I was using my crowbar more or less to try and pull this out a bit. But you'll see that compared to what it was, it's really not that bad. This is just the worst piece here now. Most of this I got pulled out pretty good. Enough that I won't have to put a big thick layer of isopon on it, so that's helping a lot. I found a little cap off my SCH50 which fits it just perfectly. So I don't know if I'll keep that or if I'll replace it with a brand new one, but I have a petcock on its way for that too. So, to our little engine. This is the one that I haven't opened yet. This is the one that I thought probably is the most viable one to give us a good engine. So, without further ado, we will take the head off here and we'll get into it and see what we've got. Well, what's been a couple of seconds for yous has been the guts of probably about an hour for me. Trying my best to get this little sprocket off. I had a little set of pullers here. They're not the correct ones. There is a correct puller for it. Tried my best with it and I did manage to loosen it up a wee bit, but it was still a handling to get it off, and there is a little wood rough key in there, so just be very careful not to lose that. I have it taped to the sprocket as you can see here so that I won't lose it, and that'll go into the box to be reused. So okay, so I loosened up all the bolts just like the last time. There was one odd bolt which I've not seen before, and it was going right through from here the whole way through this, and this part here appears to be threaded on the bottom. I had a bit of a handling getting it out because it was a little bent, but I just used the trick for putting in exhaust studs, so I got it out, but just for my own reference, that's where it goes there. No idea, but I'll keep it safe. I know what you're going to say. You can see that the head's still on the engine. I deliberately left the head on the engine for leverage so that I can put my hand on it and get these loosened up. So now the head will be coming off. Okay, so I've took the head off now, and just to show you what we have to work with. Hold on a wee second, I just get these head nuts, put them somewhere where I won't lose them. I'll just screw them back onto some of the head bolts here for a second. Nothing works when you have a camera in your hand. Yeah, there we go. There's one. There's two. I don't have another two. I have to find another two or buy another two. But just to show you what we have to work with. Now this is an old head, but you'll see that when you open it up and you look inside, that could not be in better condition. That really is in very good condition. So we've got a good barrel. We've got our exhaust thing. That's just a bit of tape that you see in there. We've got our exhaust bolt for keeping the exhaust in. I got a brand spanking new piston and rings for it, so we'll have no issues hopefully there. I'll make sure that it's sized correctly. I'm not even sure if there's still a seal left in there or not. I'll have to check. But yeah, I got a brand new piston, brand new rings, brand new wrist pin and brand new keepers. So I've been keeping them safe inside the barrel with that tape. I'm going to put them inside the piston now just so we don't lose them. And we'll put the piston just on the top of the barrel there. I'll fill it from the bottom and that'll keep it safe. Head-wise, what have we got? Well, we've got the old spark plug which is attached to this, but I do have a new spark plug bought, along with a new spark plug cap. So this will be made redundant, but doesn't look too bad, as you can see. But this is not the original head of this engine. I bought this head for it because it's a high compression head. The original head is in some of them boxes over there, but this is the high compression head that I found for it, and you'll see it's not too bad. Could use a bit of a clean, but it's good. I got the decompression valve working on it pretty good. I'm going to reseat that just to make sure. I think it should work alright. So that's the head. Now we're going to get in and start to try and open this up, but even when you see the crank here, there's a tiny bit of play side to side. There's nothing up and down, so I think it's a pretty good crank to use. So I'm hoping that I can just use that one and not bother about anything else. One thing that is bothering me about it though is that we have what I think we have little roller burns in that, don't we? No, maybe not. It's like some sort of bush. I've never seen that in them before. Might have to have a close look at that there. See what that is. Anyway, if it was roller burns, it's stuck, so I'll have to have a good look anyway. Next, we're going to take this piece off here, as you've seen me do before, and try and get this casing off. I'm not using this casing again. I have a new one in the house for it. It's a bit needs a bit of a clean up, but it'll do the job. It's not got this piece broken, you see. This piece was broken on this, and I was afraid that if I started to use it, this area might be a little weak and it might eventually break even more. So that's the whole reason why I'm not using that. Okay, so you'll see I have this piece took off now, and I'm going to try and get these casings apart. May have to hit it a few tips with the mallet or something to try and loosen this up, but hopefully I'll not have to hit it too hard, as this aluminium does tend to be quite weak. Well, you can see after opening this engine up that it's already a lot better than the other two. Everything is very clean in here. There was even oil left in it, which I thought all the oil was out of it because the head had been off it and it was sitting around, but I was wrong. So I had a bit of emptying out of oil to do once I found out that it was leaking out of it. You see a bit in the pot there. Yeah, as first thought, this is probably in better condition than the other two. You can even see this inside of this casing, which I'm not going to be using this casing, but the bearing is very good. Yeah, it's alright. Could probably use it. yeah, it's not gritty or anything, so it's, let me see, what else are we going to do now? We have to take this clutch apart to get into the other side of it, because something's rattling around in the bottom of this. I don't know what it is, so whether I like it or not, I'm going to have to take it apart the rest of the way to see what that is. Well, I think I got my answer why this little engine wasn't in use. It might not be the worst thing in the world for me. I've got spare parts here. You can see in there that there's no gear selector. Where's the gear selector gone? Look down here. That's what I could hear moving about in the bottom of the engine casing. The gear selector's totally smashed. Hopefully one of the other ones I have will be the same, and I'll be able to use them. And none of the teeth in here are damaged. I have got a choice of a few sets of gears, so hopefully I'll have enough to make the engine. Okay, so we're going to undo this bolt now and get the other two casings apart and see how bad this situation is. Well, as you can see, it turned into a bit of a fiasco again. Right, I opened up what I thought was the good engine, and it turned out that inside a lot of stuff had been broken, and that's why it wasn't in use. And I'll start off and show you here exactly what I have. Yeah, this was supposed to be the gear selector. So as you can see, it's in quite a few pieces, and you can assume when damage like that was done that obviously other stuff's going to get broken. So that's what did happen. There was a lot of the gears put into pieces. I'll show you. This main one, you can see the broken tooth on that. No good. This is the one that's supposed to drive most of the gears, and it has broken teeth. So they were no good to me, and I had this other engine here, the kind of half one, and it was the one with the wrong selector in it, well, what I thought was the wrong selector. But when I fitted it, I took it out of this and took whatever parts I could get out of this one, and what a hassle I had opening that again. That was ridiculous. So that took me a few hours to sort out. Then when I put them into this, it didn't work out too bad. It selects gears quite good and everything else. So I'm happy enough with the way things are. You can see yourself there, it's turning quite nicely there. And when I push this down to change the gear, if you can see, it's still turning the gears lovely there, so it's working the way that it should work. Everything's sliding into everything the way it should. So yeah, happy about that. So I have all the pieces I need now to make a good engine. What else do I have? Yeah, I'll have to change these seals. The bearings, I'm not 100% sure about. I mean, there's no play in them. They do feel a tiny bit on the gritty side. So while I have it open, maybe I'll just bear the weight another week or so till I get bearings for this, because if I'm going down this far with it, I may as well do it right and just replace all the bearings as well. So that's what I'm going to do. The bearings in, hold on a wee second, I'll just put this on here, get it out of the road. The bearings in this casing, which is the one that had the broken piece on it that I was going to replace anyway, the bearing in that was quite good. and it's very clean inside. You can see it's still a good case, and it's just that one piece is broke there, and I was just worried that if I put the cable through that and put pressure on it, maybe it wouldn't be strong enough. So I went and I bought another one, and it came the other day from eBay, and although it's in rough enough condition, it's all there and nothing is broken. So I'm going to clean that up and I'm going to use it, but there's going to be a lot of cleaning to do, as you can see. So I have that. I have a really good crank here. Very pleased with the crankshaft. No problems there. I don't know if this sleeve is meant to turn around in this. Perhaps some of you could tell me that, if you're anyway knowledgeable about con rods and stuff. That's just a brass bushing there. It's not a roller bearing type. So that would be my crank that I'm going to use. And then, oh, I had a serious issue taking this piece of the clutch off. It was ridiculous. It took me a couple of hours. You can see how bent that is. I can't use it. It just would not budge. I heated it. I done everything I could. I had to eventually start getting a little bit thick and prising at it pretty damn hard to get it off. Eventually it did come off, and I knew I had a spare anyway, and took the spare out of that other engine, even though there's a tiny bit of pit in there, but it's not anything that's going to affect it too much. So that's my clutch, and this is my clutch and clutch release bearing, which is very good. No problems there. So I have everything I need to make a full engine right here in front of me. But as I said, I just might have to wait a wee while to get some bearings as well. I have seals and everything here. I have to clean up the casings anyway, so while I'm waiting on them to come, I could be doing that. I don't see why not. So that's the story with the engine for now. I'm going to start cleaning up here. I have bits of engine laying everywhere, and I know where every piece is for, and I'm just going to put it away, bag it now, label it, and that'll be me for the night. Thanks for watching, guys. Well, that concludes my video for this evening. I've done as much as I can do. It's getting quite late. I pieced the engine all back together just to keep all the bits and make sure I don't lose anything. That's the casing that I'm going to be cleaning up. Needs all bearings and seals and everything. So the next thing I'll do is I'll order the bearings, because I can't go any further until I get them. Well, I can clean up the casings and get them ready for all that, but I have to heat the casings to put bearings in and that, and yeah, you know the story yourself. If you end up painting them or anything, it's kind of pointless. Painting something and then heating it up. So right, so the last thing that I was doing here was I was determining what starter, or well, it's not actually a starter, it's a magneto, but I was determining which wheel I was going to use, because there's two different sizes in these apparently, and I don't know what plate goes with what wheel. So this is the issue. This wheel will fit all of these, but maybe the gap's too big with some of them. This wheel will not fit this one. You can see that this has different points. There will be a screwdriver from in here. On this other one here, there's a little screw down in there. I don't know if you can see it, for adjusting them. So I don't know which wheel goes with that and which wheel goes with the other ones. But that is the new coil. It fits that plate, no problem. Either way, as I do have a wheel, it's just I don't know which one to use. Any of you know, if you have a Quickley yourselves, if you know what the situation is with that, please comment and let me know. But that's all I can do this evening. I've cleaned up as much as I can, put my tools away. I'm trying to be a bit tidier from now on and not get myself into a place where I can't work with anything. I just about managed to work this evening with the tiny bit of space that I had. Yeah, good evening's work. Happy with what I got done. We got our tank half kind of banged out. It's not perfect. I wasn't expecting it to be perfect. I just wanted to get it a little bit shallower so that I don't have to put a big thick lump of filler on it. Now this one I cannot get out. Don't know what I'm going to do there. I might just have to fill it up with filler anyway and hope that it holds. Not the end of the world anyway. It would be nice to have it perfect almost though. I got a saddle, by the way. I didn't show you that. I don't know if any of you guys like your Quickleys, but there's another guy on YouTube here called Tom Cahill. And Tom sells a few parts and bits like that and posts a few videos up on YouTube here. And he had this. He sold me it. It's a Denfield. Well, it's a Denfield style saddle, but it is actually NSU. I think it's seen better days. I did look to try and get a cover for this so I could recover it, but unfortunately it doesn't look like you can get them. So I may have to go and buy another saddle anyway. But anyway, at least I have a saddle because I didn't have any saddle at all for it. So that's that. That's that spare engine I was taking apart earlier. Shove it to the back. That's the other engine that I'm hoping I can make another good engine out of eventually. Maybe if I can get a barrel cheap enough. So tank's going in there. Saddle's going in there. Yep, that's me done for the night. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Demo 690 if you have not done already. Hit the bell for notifications. But most of all, please, if you like what you're seeing, will you like my videos? Because that really helps towards the algorithm of YouTube and getting out to more people so that more people can view what I'm doing here. And it's just fun to share information with people who have a similar interest to myself. And I never claim to be a professional. I'm always learning, and I'm always willing to listen to other people's points of view and what they might do. So don't be afraid to comment. That's very important. Okay guys, until next time.